Hello, my studio art students and artists. This is a video for this next project that we're doing. It will
If you're walking, talking,
oh my god. This next project we will be working on. Okay, we might be good. We might be good, guys. This next project will be a collaborative project with everyone in my classes. We each will be making one of these kind of chords, I would call it. This right here, we made it with this coiling cord, and you can see a big wheel of it right here. This coiling cord is used for baskets, usually, some fabric art. In our case, we will be using it for fabric art. We will create our own cord with our own selected color palette. So you will pick the colors, and we'll talk about color theory throughout the process. In the end, I will stitch all of these cords that we make together, and then it will be hung up somewhere, ideally the Emerson Cafe, but it'll look something like kind of this style or this style. All you need for this project is coiling cord, yarn, and a basket or bowl is ideal, scissors, and a big old needle like that. I have all of that. You'll see it in my class. To get started with this project though, you're gonna grab your coiling cord, and I will pre-cut all of these to the length they need to be. All right, hopefully this angle's okay. But we have this coiling cord. It's all like twisted and circular. We need to kind of fold it in half. So grab the two ends, line them up and make sure, you know, they're actually lined up, and then go along until you get to the other end. All right, so I have this still lined up. This still looks good. It's equal. What I need to be able to hang this up later is it needs to have a loop. So for this cord, there needs to be a loop. All right, we just need it. It's so that I can hang this up later. And the technique that we are doing is called thread wrapping. So let me grab the yarn I want to use this time in this basket so it's organized. It's not, the yarn isn't rolling away or falling, because when you start grabbing at the threads, you see how the yarn is moving. It's easier when you have it in a basket so it's not gonna roll away from you. So let's say I want to start with the yellow. Thread wrapping is really a very easy technique. They use it to do hair, they use it in fabric art. There are some really cool artists right now that are doing thread wrapping technique, but it's really simple. All you're going to do is grab your yarn, grab what you have that you want to wrap, and instead of just starting straight on like that and wrapping, you're going to make like kind of like a little tail of yarn. So I'm going to lay it down, kind of going with my cord, but you see the yarn is like that. Then you're going to hold it in place and just wrap. And make sure it's tight, even at the beginning. Like I'm really tightening it. And then you don't want, see, you're going to make a mistake like that, like what I just did. Starting it is kind of the hardest part. And try to keep it neat. Like I'm not layering the yarn on top of each other that much at all. I'm laying it right next to the other piece of yarn. And you can pull on the yarn that you laid down earlier to get started to really tighten it up at the beginning. So you can do it where you're moving your hand around the cord, like you see my hand, it's moving around. Or the easier way is when, at least for me it's easier, make sure the cord isn't in the way of anything. The easier way is just twisting the cord around. And I'm making sure that I'm not going like that and being super messy, because that's not going to look clean, that's not going to look nice in the end. I'm making sure the thread isn't loose, right? I'm making sure it's the strands of thread are laying like next to each other, and I just find it easier to twist the cord around instead of twisting like my hand around. And it's going to stay in place. Since you had that yarn at the very beginning, it will stay in place. because the threads up here are holding it down now. That's why it's important also to make sure it's not loose, the thread, because if it's loose, then it will just come apart. But let's say you want to switch a color, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to decide, like, oh, is that a good size of the color that you wanted at the very beginning? I'll show you my example right here. Look at all the different sizes. I varied up the sizes personally because I thought it would look nice, and I really thought about which colors would be small, which will be big. I really thought about which colors I was using. But let's say you wanted to finish this right now and switch to a different color. All you would do is kind of repeat what you did before to start it. So you're gonna cut some thread. So I have this bit of thread now, right? This amount of thread, plenty of thread. With the cord, if you're done, just put the thread, see I'm like splitting the cord. Just put the thread through the cords and double check, okay, I have all my tails on this side. And I can cut like the extra that I have, and that's okay. So I literally just took the thread, put it through the cords, and now I'm just making sure it's tight. Everything is tight. Now, let's say I want purple, and I got my thread, and I'm going to do the same thing with this that I did with the yellow towards the end. I'm going to grab the purple, put the thread through the cords, and bring it up to the top. And all the tails are in the front. The ends of the yarn, keep them on the same side of your cord. It'll just look cleaner because inevitably your cord will have kind of these little moments. Just having one of those moments, you see? Like little moments where for me, I notice them. So try to keep them on the same side so that I can hide them in the back. I did that, I put the thread through, and then I just keep going. And that's how you switch a color. And whenever you think things aren't tight enough, just pull on the threads. Nothing's gonna happen. Pull on the yarn. I keep saying thread, but this is called thread wrapping. And I'm just twisting the cord to get the yarn going. And then you're making sure, you see I almost did it on accident. You're making sure that the tails don't ever show. They don't ever pop out. So make sure they're laying down. And then as you're wrapping, you're hiding them, the ends of those yarns. And I will help each of you with finishing your cords. So don't worry about that. Like I said, to finish, you might need this kind of needle to help. But for now, you're just worrying about your colors and thread wrapping. It takes time to do this, but it is a very easy technique and you'll get the hang of it really quick, I promise. So that's how you start this project and how you switch colors. If you have any questions, let me know. This video is here for you. If you forget, you can always come back to this video. That's the start of this project. Bye.